so tempted to wear this every day of my life, like even in the summertime, but I will restrain myself. Hi, Allison here. Today I am back basically sharing my perfumes of the week. I'll be trying to do this every week. So this week's theme was, what was it? Coffee and vanilla. I'm being kind of loose with the coffee term. Some of these perfumes are more of a cocoa or chocolatey effect, but you know, you get the general theme. Let's start with the one that is the newest to my collection, the one I had the highest hopes for, but I was kind of, I guess I'll say disappointed. But this is Delox by Tiziana Terenzi. So when I started thinking ahead of what I was gonna do for this week, I knew I wanted a lot of coffeeness or chocolatiness. So a lot of a coffee effect or chocolatey effect. And I didn't feel like I had a well-rounded collection to create that type of collection for the week. So I blind bought Delox by Tiziana Terenzi because it's actually been hard to find a coffee perfume that feels like a rich, deep coffee perfume. Like most of the coffee perfumes I've either bought or tested have like this cafe latte type of effect instead of like an espresso effect. And for some reason I've been wanting more of an espresso effect. So I got this because a lot of the reviews said that it had like a richer coffee effect. That's not what it was for me. It's not like it was a bad scent. It was just disappointing for what I was trying to go for. So I will say the lasting power lasted a long time. So the lasting power was good. But to me, this is more of a bright, almost oudy caramel type of effect, and maybe some rosiness as well. So I wasn't getting much of a coffee effect. So I wore this the first day of the week. It's an extrait de parfum, so you know it holds true to that as far as the lasting power. The projection was, I would say, was okay. It was pretty close to the skin from what I could ascertain, but at least it lasted a long time and it smelled nice. I just wasn't wowed. So I'm glad I didn't pay full price for this. I got this from Joma Shop for a pretty good deal. If I had paid the retail price, I would have been really disappointed. So after that, to get more richness and depth, I pulled out my Fruity Almond perfume by Dossier, and it's their version of Carolina Herrera Good Girl. To me, this isn't the best Carolina Herrera Good Girl dupe I've ever encountered. I actually liked the Be Layered one better. I was sent that one years ago in exchange for a review, and I actually wore that one a lot, and whenever I wore it, got crazy compliments. Projection and sillage performance, all of that was amazing. This one to me is a fruitier version of Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. So because of that, I still wasn't initially getting like that deep, rich cocoa effect I wanted, because this is supposed to have a cocoa note. Yes, it has tonka bean, vanilla, and cocoa in the base notes. But in the top notes, it has almond and peach. And to me, it's almost a bit of a cherry effect, even though that's not mentioned here. But to get more of a chocolatey effect, I layered it with Chocolate Hazelnut Hair and Body Mist by Monde Gourmand. I got this from TJ Maxx because I think this has been discontinued. So they had a lot of bottles siphoned out through a lot of TJ Maxx's. But together, I definitely got that rich cocoa, floral, sweet effect. I really loved it. It took me back to the experience of wearing the Love Potion by Be Layered, or even when I actually used to own Good Girl Leger by Carolina Herrera. So this was a good day. This was a good experience, especially because of lasting power and because it did give me that effect I was going for. So I did a lot of layering this week. So I also wore Gourmand White Flowers, which is Dossier's version of Viktor and Rolf's Flowerbomb. I actually own Flowerbomb as a travel spray, so I could have just worn that, but I think I'm saving that for when I actually travel because when I travel, I don't like to take full bottles with me. But I layered it with Black Opium Le Parfum. These two together, really nice, really nice. Like, this is a lot of vanilla, also has that coffee note, and then this also has vanilla and caramel. What else does it have? It has patchouli, which can give a chocolatey effect, and it also has white flowers, tea, and some fruity notes in the top. So beautiful day. The projection on this was nice. The scent combination was nice. This smells nice on its own. This smells nice but cozy on its own when I wear it alone, but together it was beautiful. I was in love with myself. And then another day I wore another combo. I wore Nest layered with the Oud Bouquet oil by Oil Perfumery. This helped this to pop more and last longer. It was an okay day. I wasn't necessarily wild, but I didn't hate it. That's really all I have to say about that. But then let's get back to Black Opium Le Parfum. I wore it again. I actually wore it 3 times this week. So this time I wore it with Road Love by Rihanna. I've always liked Road Love by Rihanna layered with some type of Black Opium perfume, because something about this just works really well with a coffee floral type of perfume, and that was true to the effect as far as being layered with Black Opium Le Parfum. Really great combination. Together this creates it doesn't make it a deep chocolatey or deep espresso type of effect, which is what I was initially going for in a week, but I still liked the combo. I think the caramel in here and the coffee and vanilla in here made for a really beautiful creamed coffee type of effect. Basically, like if you got you an order of coffee and you added quite a bit of French vanilla cream to it. So that's the effect that this one gave, but it also had those florals in here to make it more fresh and feminine, honestly. But together they performed really well in the cold weather, even though it had a bit of a freshness to it. Okay, so I'll get back to Black Opium Le Parfum. I keep wanting to say Miss Dior. But I also wore Viktor and Rolf's BonBon Couture. This is their intense version of BonBon. I wore this as a nighttime scent. I wore this on Friday night. Friday morning, I spent the whole day cleaning the house and getting ready for the Sabbath, because I celebrate the Sabbath. And then after all of that was done, took a shower, changed into basically some comfortable house clothes, and I wore this, and it stayed with me all night. I still smelled it in the morning. It's a semi-soft perfume as far as the projection, and so I wouldn't necessarily say it has like this crazy projection, but I do feel like if someone were sitting next to you, they could smell it, but not necessarily one where you walk into the room and people smell you passing by. But I loved this one as far as it being a wind down or bedtime scent, so I'm glad I got to test it out for that. So I mentioned earlier that when I go out of town, I tend to not carry full bottles with me, but if I'm going somewhere that's not that far, I don't feel as anxious about carrying full bottles. So I can see myself carrying this if I'm gonna be an hour away but spending the night. This would be a good bedtime scent. This would be a good motivation, honestly, for waking up in the morning, because I'll wake up and smell this still and be like, and it'll just put me in a good mood. Okay, so is that everything almost? Yes, so I want to get back to Black Opium Le Parfum. I layered it again with something that was really surprising. This was something that I added to the week's rotation at the last minute. I was at Walmart. I saw this in the perfume section, and our Walmart, they have it all locked up because I don't know, I guess people steal. But they had a $8, $9 perfume by Belcam Parfums. I have the box still so I can show it to you. It's called Bold Tobacco. I took the label off the bottle because it's ugly, but it's called Bold Tobacco. It is their version of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. I got it just because it was $8 and I was just curious if it would actually smell good. It smells so good. It made me want to get the actual Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, but then I saw that that one can run like $250 and I was like, I can wait. And then I considered ordering the Dossier version, but honestly, this version is so good. And the only reason I don't like it is because the bottle is kind of ugly, but it's not as ugly once I took off that tacky label, and I'm thinking of seeing if I know someone locally who does glass etching to see if I can pay someone to etch either bold tobacco on it or just etch my name on it. But this gave me what I've been looking for all week. This gave me what I've been looking for every time I'm on the hunt for a bold coffee perfume. I realized I was getting it wrong. I wasn't looking for a bold coffee perfume. Deep down inside, I was looking for a tobacco perfume. If you've ever smelled Black & Milds and you just thought they smelled so good and you kind of wish there was a perfume or cologne that had the same scent, this is giving that. And for this to be at Walmart for $8 is an eau de toilette, but it lasts all day. And I layered it with Black Opium Le Parfum. It smells so good. I was mad at myself for not being on a date. Like, how could I smell this good, this delicious, this sensual, this amazing, and just be coming home to myself? Like, I was tripping, but I didn't know I would be tripping. But now I know for future reference. If I go on a date at night and I want to give off that bold femininity, but it's still somehow cozy and soft and makes you, or makes the person I'm on a date with want to hug me and pull me closer, this one. Because the sillage is there, the performance is there, but it's not stressful on your nose. It's not one of those where you smell it and you get a headache. Somehow it's the right balance, this combination of being a good performer without being overwhelming to the nose. And it just smells so good. Like the coffee in here, the tobacco in here, the vanilla, and then the vanilla in here. Oh, it's so much. And then there's a fruity note in here, like there's fruitiness in here, so it gives you that sweetness that you pick up from a Black & Mild. Like just the overall effect, as you can tell, this was my favorite of the week. I was tempted to add it to this week's rotation, but I'm trying to be diverse. I'm trying to, move through my collection and use everything. Oh my goodness, so tempted to wear this every day of my life, like even in the summertime, but I will restrain myself. Okay, so that concludes today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Basically, see you next week. But I'll also be posting some shorts throughout the week. Just trying to keep you guys, I guess, entertained with the content, those of you who follow me and care. See you later.